Whoop, 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 whoop. Open Gangnam Style. Yeah, sexy lady.
You know, with Hulk Hogan's passing,
Hmm.
I had some member berries, and I saw some interviews that I had never seen before, so I thought, hey, I'll expose myself to something new. Hulk Hogan was talking about his experience with Andre the Giant. So it was kind of them recording something to look back on this man after he died type thing, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
One of the things that he was saying is that Andre was a person who would really try to hurt people out there if he didn't like you.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And
Yes.
so then he was going through the different individuals that they had beefs that were actual, why he did such and such thing. I don't like this guy because he steps over the high rope.
John Studd, among other things, when he came to the ring, he would step over the top rope.
I'm the only person who steps over the high rope. So because of that, I view that as a disrespect.
Andre would beat the crap out of John Studd, to prove who the real giant was.
No one should step over the top rope because that's Andre's thing.
Or like the Sheik. He did not like the Sheik. And there was one particular instant, I'll put a little bit of the clip up, however much YouTube will let me.
And one night, he just took him out in the ring and just beat him to death. I thought he killed him.
Andre trying to...
He's going through it, and you can see him in the background, and you see him starting to he's like, oh man, And so as he's having this interview, he's like, yeah, I was very concerned that he was going to get seriously hurt.
Watching him, oh my God, somebody stop this massacre. He's going to kill the guy.
A little low lumbar adjustment there.
It was some stuff like that. So I already kind of said one, and I outright said one, the Sheik. Do you know, so as a viewer of it, who do you think was another person that he absolutely, really, sincerely did not like?
Well, at first, he really did not like Hulk Hogan. He beat the shit out of Hogan for quite some time. And I think I saw an interview where Hogan was talking about that relationship too. And he said that, he wrestled him a lot because he was kind of the guy that could plausibly beat Andre, and that was the whole thing they sold for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But he got his ass kicked a lot in the beginning because he didn't like his gimmick. He felt like he was trying to steal his thunder.
Right,
this is my
right.
wrestling. You're the new guy. We're going to make money, but this is mine. They had a stint in Japan over there doing a circuit or whatever. And Hogan kind of, I think he bailed him out of a match because he was either too drunk that night or... Because, and I'm not being... He was
No, it was a thing. It was a thing, yeah.
Literally a keg of beer could put that shit down. But anyway, they had a good stretch where Hogan kind of picked him up, did a really good job. And apparently that's when he stopped beating the shit out of him. That's when they started really traction and all that. But as far as... I don't think he liked Macho Man.
That's the one.
Well, he hated Randy Savage. The Macho Man hated him with a passion.
He really hated...
That's the one, yeah.
The fact that he would never come out of character.
And Randy come out, hey, brave brother, what do you think we're going to do out there in the ring tonight?
He was always macho, and he's like, talk to me like a normal person. I'm not... get the fuck out of my locker room,
Andre would look up at him, playing cards, go, no baby oil, get out!
So, interviewing the Hulk, where Randy Savage is in there, and I don't know if he's trolling him or if he's just going through his regular thing, but either way, it's Andre not being a fan of it, and
yeah.
And then with that in perspective, then looking at clips of a wrestling match between them, it is really brutal. Like when he's just slamming his ass in his face over and over again.
I know
You're
exactly
like,
what you're
oh
talking
my
about.
gosh.
But that's real. Everybody thinks wrestling's fake. Wrestling's fake. It's exhibition. It's predetermined. But those guys are doing the,
it's just like the NFL,
Right. It's the same thing. Their bodies are on the line. If you mess up this much, you're stone cold. Owen Hart, your ass, just as a wrestling fan, everybody knows what Owen Hart, messed up Austin's neck. He's lucky he wasn't paralyzed. Really knocked his career off because, as big of a fan of Austin as I was, Austin's real run at the top was 2.5, 3 years. Tops.
Yeah.
I mean, he was involved here and there, but he wasn't the guy anymore. It was The Rock or Triple H or John Cena.
Right.
They moved on, and it was because he was hurt and he couldn't keep up, and he had his own issues. He was ready to get the hell out of there. Here, Rock, it's yours. I made my money. I'm out. Hell, I make $1 million a month selling T-shirts. Why do I got to do this anymore? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man.
But yeah, it's brutal. Those guys, and especially back in the 80s and 70s, when those guys, if you didn't wrestle, you didn't get paid. So if you were something was broken or sprained or torn, you patched that shit up, took some pills, maybe took a little tootie toot, and you went and did your match because you needed the paycheck. So
Yeah, I think that's almost a direct Ric Flair quote right there when they're interviewing him.
I'm sure it
He
is.
said something very similar to that, like.
But it's them jumping through the tables and off the top rope. That's not a cushion down there.
Yeah,
that's not a foam table.
It hurt. Like at this stage of my life, it is difficult for me to watch that because I'm just like, oh, like I'm feeling that.
Right.
And I'm also not in like a teenage or young me mindset. I'm in, these are not teenagers doing this. These are grown men that are absolutely going to feel it tomorrow.
How old's John Cena? 52? Something like that? 54?
I don't know.
And look at Rey Mysterio.
I stopped paying attention to him after the Chinese had him wearing dresses.
But yeah, back to my point. It's brutal. Those guys are truly putting their bodies on the line, especially the guys that are really putting on good matches. Because a lot of the bigger guys can go up there and do the body slam and, the freaking clothesline. But guys like the luchadors, those guys doing the flippity twisties off the rope, in the rope, on your,
Yeah.
one twist the wrong way, that kid's paralyzed. And you got to do that every night, 150 times a year at least to, get your name. And
Right.
people don't understand the time those guys put in either. I mean, it's like, yeah, they wrestle 100, 150 times a year, but they got to get to those venues. They got to promote those venues. They got to promote the shows. They got to have a little bit of time off, It's just the guys at the top, there's no days off,
Yeah.
There's
for
just
sure.
not. You're going from promo to show to interview to podcast to cutting your own stuff for the show. It's just,
Well, even think about all of the people that you will never hear about. There's all the amateur wrestling, the whole funnel that goes up there. How many people, because you are putting your body on the line, how many people are destroyed and never get money, never get fame, whatever they're seeking,
Sure.
but have made the sacrifice for something, hopefully something that they love, and that's why they're doing it. They're not doing it because they think it's the easiest way for whatever payout.
Sure.
But
look at all the feeder systems they have now. You got your big mammoth titan that WWE is now because they literally absorbed the talent or bought everything else.
Yeah.
So,
as is the nature of which we used to have laws against those things, but it seems like
yeah, and there's reasons for that because it wasn't good for the sport. If you've only got one person putting out the big stuff, you don't get, I don't want to say diversity, but you don't get the different ideas and the different storylines. It's one thing, one guy. There's no WCW Nitro Wars with Monday Night War. You know what I'm saying? There's competition spurs greatness. So you have to be better. Makes you be better.
Right. I mean, I like, for American football, for instance, I liked when the XFL first came into be a thing. I like having the different options there because you say it's a little different twist on whatever the thing is. Another good example is the NBA. We used to have two separate professional basketball leagues, and they did a great 30 for 30 on this actually.
I've seen what you're talking about. I love those 30 for 30s. They get very
two separate groups, and this is a little bit more high speed of a game and a little bit flashier. This one has a little bit deeper pockets, and this one eventually buys this one, and then there's two Jews who are
How about that?
yeah. According to Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, that was the number one that he did not like the most. And I think Iron Sheik was there was like a drop off, but then that was the number two.
Right.
But yeah, Macho Man. And for you're right, for the reasons that you said, So you're just this drunk giant Frenchman pissed off that someone's in character. Now, what immediately pops into my head when I have that is I wish we could take Andre and drop him into Tropic Thunder and deal with RDJ.
And that's why he's been tripped up and he's late on his car payments and all that stuff.
What does this mean for us?
It means you'll be psychically attacked. You're son number 3. They're coming at you from all angles. They're coming at you from the Sirius, right? They're coming at you from the Orion, okay? Which also connects to Dan, right? Dan's best friend, man's best friend. That's Dog. That's the Dog Star. That's Sirius. That's some serious shit, man.
Do you know how hilarious that would be? Like, replace Jack Black with Andre the Giant. How that is probably the only character change that I think genuinely would elevate that film.
Andre was a real one though, dude. 'Cause
Or when they get Ben Stiller out of it at the. Can you imagine Andre being involved in that, breaking him out of that Vietnamese drug fin case?
just knocking over the little.
Yeah, they would have had a much easier escape.
Just,
I need my jelly beans.
oh,
I need all the. I need 2 kilos of jelly beans. I'm a big man. I cannot do the giant. I can do a French accent, and I can do a giant accent. I can't do a giant French
bring 'em
accent.
together, yeah.
I think if I did, I might get. We'll edit this out. I might get locked in like a retard loop. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you're
Keep
flying
the
too
fix
close
it,
to the
just
sun there. You know.
Back to Andre. He was very much the first. Well, I won't say superstar, but he was the first exhibit that wrestling had. He was a guy that you could showcase and sell out a house. You know what I'm saying? Just because he was a giant.
So I was gonna say, do you think it's just because he's a giant, or do you think the being French as well brings some like kind of broader international appeal? Because
Well, yeah, of course. I firmly believe that he had a very large worldwide. Everybody knew who Andre the Giant was before everybody knew who Hulk Hogan was.
right,
You get what I'm saying? So, especially as far as Vince McMahon is concerned, with his organization, I don't know if they were always WWE, they were WWF, and before that, before he started buying everybody, before his dad expanded, no, his dad was always regarded as the best promoter in wrestling. So their organization was really strong before Vince bought it. But that was the first, hood ornament, we'll say, that they put on the WWF, and started selling out houses and blah blah blah, and then Vince started making more money, started buying all the talents from other territories, and then he'd go back to those territories with those talents that he bought and sell at the same venue. But now I'm making the money, and
like Major League Baseball did in Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and Haiti.
well, it's just, this is America. If you can't compete, you can't compete. It kind of is what it is, because the rules have never been. There was a time where you couldn't have a monopoly on a thing because there was laws that were followed and things in place because it wasn't allowed, and competition is good for everybody, and you get what I'm saying. But
I remember
even
something about that.
But with the WWE now, they've Titan Sports merged with whatever hedge fund it was, and now they're just fucking massive. I mean, they just had their big Netflix deal, and hell, I'm pretty sure I just read that you have to pay like $30 on top of the Netflix subscription to view all their big shows like WrestleMania and SummerSlam and all that stuff. You've got to pay extra for that, opposed to paying $50 for the pay-per-view. I guess it's kind of the same kind of thing, but now it's like they have cornered the market. I think they still have the SmackDown show that's like public TV or whatever, but Raw has moved to Netflix fully, and that's always been the flagship show. So, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Paul Levesque, whatever you want to call him, he's very much in control now. But it's like you can only, you're gonna fuck up. People have followed you, your audience has followed you, but now you're telling me, if I want to be able to play in the whole show, I've got to pay extra. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's
they're just squeezing every nickel they can. But that's the corporate model these days. It seems like
that's not fair though, because when they started the WWE Network, they made a shit ton of money. They had all kinds they were one of the first ones pulling on that thread, having that kind of deal. And instead of, reinvesting into their product and the people viewing it, they were just like, nope.
Well,
Nope.
it goes back to getting money behind the money, getting
Right.
hedge fund capitalists that
Yeah.
I mean,
They
that's
just view it
that's
different.
why all this thing, yeah, because
Yeah.
it literally is squeezing every nickel. It's not how can we make the best product, how can we make the
Right.
best service. It's how can we get the most effective monetization
Mm-hmm.
and get the maximum dollar amount out of the consumer.
Well,
Plain and simple.
people don't understand that is really the reason Vince won the Monday Night Wars. Because WCW it was the Time Warner merger.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as all those fucking bigwigs came
We
in.
touched on that, old Teddy
Yeah,
Turner,
we
everything
did
before,
all
yeah.
that. As soon as that happened, it was no longer let's make a good product. It was this isn't making money because you already fucked it up. We're not going to invest money in to fix it, and sold to Vince for peanuts. So, it's just like I said, it wasn't good for the product. It hasn't been good for the people, and I felt like they were starting to turn a corner to get people. But hell, I watched the first couple episodes when they went to Netflix because I happened to have that subscription already.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a good show. They had Undertaker pop in for the member berries.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. He was on the motorcycle with one of the popular female wrestlers right now. I'm not sure her name.
I
She's
couldn't
very
tell you.
dark, very much a dark gimmick. Yeah, Taker came in on the fucking motorcycle, did the circle, threw the arm up, had the chick there. It was cool. They had a bunch of little moments like that. And I was like, all right, cool. They're trying to, maybe move back to an Attitude-esque era kind of thing. But since then, I just see it pop up it's just, they're doing a really good job with creating a buzz, I guess we'll say. It's a bunch of backstage brawls and,
Good.
yeah, no, this is a real heated. These
Mm-hmm.
guys actually don't like each other. There was somebody back there, and they happened to record this exchange, and two of our biggest stars beat each other up, and now there's a rift there, but you're not supposed to know about that. Ooh, they're trying to get that thing, the suspension of disbelief. They're trying to really get back in the.
Which I can appreciate, if that's the content you're going for, then
Sure.
you want that. You want to sink in and enjoy it for what it is,
Well, the sad part is the most money they ever made was when they had all the divas on there. All the freaking bikini matches and all the Austin
Right.
bleed in and the full on gladiator shit. That's when they were raking in the cash because it was border art, especially for children. Not I'd say children, but it was stuff they weren't necessarily supposed to be able to see, and they'd sneak on at night and click that TV on and watch the show, even if mom and dad told them not to. So they were pulling a whole lot of different markets because it was. I think anybody in wrestling will tell you that it might not have been the most money they were making, but as far as popularity, that was.
Right.
That's everybody was in on the game. I've seen a couple different interviews where they're just like everybody was wearing an Austin T-shirt, everybody was wearing a DX T-shirt. It was just, and that was the whole world.
Well, yeah, you got to think your whole childhood too. There's always somebody doing something, whether it's like a Diamond Dallas Page or whatever it is. Yeah,
Suck it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Everybody's got that.
Yeah.
And now I guess that's the most relevant thing.
And
I guess
he's
is Cena
50
still.
now.
Yeah.
He's been. John Cena was the Stone Cold Steve Austin or the Hulk Hogan or the insert big guy here. He put that company on his back for a lot of years, and that was more the PG era. They were going more back towards the kids.
Right.
Not so many bikini matches. A little cleaner product.
But well, look at John Cena. He is kind of like almost a cartoon character in the way he's shaped, and he's got like the monkey face, and he's always got the hair that's like a square. Like he's more like a cartoon character.
He's got a look for sure. Yeah.
And he's had that forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But he's in the movies now. He's tired of getting beat up. I think his retirement match just happened with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is one of the bling blings. But he's he's a legacy as well. Everybody knows who Dusty Rhodes is.
Right, right.
And funny enough, Dusty Rhodes was supposed to be the bumper for Vince to take over all the territories.
That's
And
right.
He shrugged it
forgotten
off.
about that, yeah.
Told Vince, I don't believe in it. And, it seems to be too big of a venture, and he didn't want to be involved with taking out wrestling, basically. And Hulk Hogan was like, so how much money are we gonna make? Oh yeah, let's go, brother. Let's go, brother.
Love it.
Yeah, but he was also. He was involved with wrestling up until the day he died, and I'm pretty sure he died penniless because I've seen some documentaries on
There's a trend of that
Cody
for
Rhodes, and no matter how much money he made, he didn't keep any of it. So hopefully his kids have done better with their money in the industry. But Cody seems to be very genuine. I think that's probably why he's done well.
right. I can see it.
A genuine baby face. So when he actually does have his heel turn, ooh boy.
Grr. This is my angry face. This is my angry face. Yeah. So silly.
I feel like I've been rambling about wrestling
No,
for
I mean,
a hot minute here.
We're good with the wrestling. I did want to go back to, you said the Undertaker was there for the member berries for this new Netflix wrestling venture. I remember seeing an old commercial with Donald Trump and the Undertaker. Do you know what I'm talking about?
That was when the billionaire feud between him and Vince McMahon, right?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Ouch, and like there's the phone call, and the Undertaker's coming up, and he like tells him to go get him a snack or some food or whatever, just like completely blowing him
Right.
off, and it's just like, just from today's lens, looking back on that, that's just wild.
Well, a lot of people don't remember that Donald Trump was a character
On
on the
Ra-
show
yeah, that's
for
what I'm
like
saying.
2 years.
He was part of wrestling entertainment.
100%. They had the big battle of the billionaires. If you lose the match or your person loses the match, you get, I shave your head.
Right.
Vince got
So
his
think,
head shaved on live TV.
your children, my children, have no concept of this. Even my oldest,
Right.
they're not going to remember that, or even that Trump was a reality TV star.
You're fired. You're
Like,
fired.
things that are out of their concept from whatever their frame that they're building, but apply that throughout, whether you want to go history or globally. So you're aware the current Ukrainian president, his origins of, one, right before he came into power as president, he was a comedian and he had a TV show where he played the president of Ukraine, and then he became the president of Ukraine right after.
And didn't the party he involved was the fake party? Wasn't that the
Yeah,
party
that
he
was-
ran under
Yeah,
in
that's
real life?
That's the whole thing. Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
And before that, he had his, like I said, his comedy career, but also had some very erotic dancing
Risque.
for his, and some very.
Oh god.
But my premise being on that, you got to wonder if maybe children in Ukraine have no concept of this character that the adults are connecting to, and how much of that has gone on, throughout times.
The one of him in the high heels
Well,
and the black
there's
leather.
a couple of them in
Oh,
high heels with different things, and
Jeez
it's
Louise.
just all very, very.
It's just weird, man.
Yeah.
They have this TV show with the actor who's playing the president in the fake party, and then he's like, you know what, I'm going to run for real president under this fake party name.
So here's a conspiracy twister out there for you on that vein. There was a movie where Robin Williams became president, and there was a small little vein that you might could go down and say, what if it was being groomed for him to become the Manchurian candidate, but he had a sudden health decline, or whether he was resistant to it, and then he died, and then you had whatever stories come out afterwards about all of his suffering and everything to martyr him that way, but maybe he was being groomed to do that, or that's what he was programmed for, and so then they had to shift to the next Manchurian in line. We'll save that for another time.
That's kind of like the fucking underwater UAP panel that was being broadcast as a live deal, and we literally recorded in this fucking show a month ago when it was live.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Yeah. It's like, and there's thousands of people on this live stream. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Man, this is hot news. It was hot news a month ago.
But
And
people,
Oh, ugh. Like, wake the fuck up. Look up. There's a sky out there, people.
well, there's lots of lines blocking it right now.
Oh, yeah, the grids. Yeah, it gets tough some days.
Oh yeah. I think there's something else with the wrestling that I wanted to go on. We'll call this the wrestling episode. But,
Is it the big lawsuit with Giselle or Ghislaine or Janelle or whatever his name is?
speaking of professional wrestling? Oh my gosh.
It's funny, everybody forgot about this multi-million-dollar class action lawsuit against Vince McMahon for human trafficking and having an actual live slave girl and
What?
all those text messages was getting leaked
No,
on the internet's
no,
there.
no. Somebody pooped on him. That's all.
Yeah, there was lots of poop. Yes.
Same thing with the Diddy party. They made sure to make sure that was something in the headlines for people to talk about was Hulk Hogan.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah, that's what we started off with, Hulk Hogan. That is sad that he's gone. I know that's old news now, but
Yeah.
well, the thing is, so much of that character or other like Randy Savage, for instance, Macho Man, so much of these characters were not necessarily integral or iconic parts of my childhood. We'll say they were indisputably parts of everyone's culture of the time. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It's no matter where you were. I mean, if you watched a football game, you saw the Macho Man and you heard the Macho Man song as they sold you,
Slim Jim.
yeah, Slim Jim, or as they sold you Tostitos dip, or because a couple of commercials were that. But I mean, no matter what, you've seen these characters and they're part of that zeitgeist that you grew up with. And so now it's where I have children coming up and it's, am I going to try to force them to know some of these old stigmas, old characters, or am I going to let them maybe learn whatever some on their own? Or you get what I'm saying? Like,
I'm with you.
but it's a thing that you realize with generations, we will not be able to relate because you've not seen this, you don't understand this type thing. And it's
You
just,
won't get this reference.
I know that makes me sad though for some of these key things, like Hulk Hogan.
Well, especially since most of the stuff coming out now is just absolute trash riddled with something or another. You know what I mean?
Well, it's overproduced. It's designed to get dollars out of the person watching it, hearing it, consuming, whatever. And like you said, it's just trash. Or it's designed to push a purpose. Yeah, so if you're not spending money on something, if something's free, you are the product. They're extracting data from you. They're harvesting it. They're selling it to something else. A different time,
There was a time where there was wholesome stuff coming out to educate on a level, to identify things.
Wholesome and education. We're talking about professional wrestling right now. I love it.
I'm just saying there was a time where everything coming out was not complete trash, even in wrestling.
Oh,
They've had periods of time where their product is absolute dog shit.
Yeah, there's
You know what I mean?
definite peaks and valleys when you look at content, whether it's characters, whether it's the whole production. I mean,
But relating to that, to the education system, it's like there's not peaks and valleys. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And yeah, I mean, I think now in most high schools and middle schools, they don't even have books anymore. They give kids tablets.
yeah.
And how many thousands of studies have been done to tell you that you learn better from reading from a book and flipping pages, hard things in your hand, something you can reference, instead of reading it from a screen.
Well, here's another thing. These children today, they don't understand cursive. They're not being taught cursive. Think how many important historical documents are written in cursive. So there's a generation of people that feasibly could have the actual Declaration of Independence, have the actual draft of the first Constitution in front of them, and not be able to read it. They just have to trust secondhand knowledge that they're getting. This is what this says. This person told me this.
Like The Handmaid's Tale, their version of the Bible.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like the version of the Bible, the King James version of the Bible. What are you talking about?
You mean the?
that a literal sorcerer wrote.
Didn't he write a?
Yeah, the book on
Book about witchcraft
demonology, and then the book on
demonology.
they wrote a couple little things, and it was all that. Yeah. Let's wrap it up here. We're gonna get too deep into something else. Yeah.
We'll get pinged on that for sure if we keep digging that.
And this, of course, here is a dream catcher. So all his dreams are being caught and he can't move on. And that's going back and forth and like that, like a spider web, which is, of course, connecting to the eye of Horus, which is a 7077 is .001, which also goes up. That was the first time he ever swung a baseball bat. Now, what we got here is the baseball ain't hitting the bat because the seams are 17.